Hello students, so in this video we'll see the front of the skull, that is norma frontalis. Now which are the bones that contribute to the norma frontalis? From above downwards, uppermost bone, that is your frontal bone. Below the frontal bone, over here these are the two nasal bones, and below the nasal bone, this is on either side is your maxillary bone or the maxilla, and on lateral side this is your zygomatic bone on either side. Apart from this, in its lower part lies the mandible. So this whole along with the mandible, it will contribute to the norma frontalis. The mandible we will discuss separately. So in this video we'll see the remaining part of the norma frontalis. So this is the frontal bone. It forms the upper part of the forehead and upper margin of this orbital cavity. In its lower part, it is interrupted on either side by the cavity of the orbit, and in the middle by the opening of this nasal aperture. This right and left maxillas are there, which forms the upper part of the jaw. It is being formed by them. Lower part of the jaw is formed by the mandible. This right and left nasal bone, which forms your bridge of the nose, and the zygomatic bone on either side, which will form the prominence of cheek. So we'll see one by one. First we'll see the frontal region. So this is the frontal region. So this whole is your frontal bone. Now the part which lies in the frontal part of the frontal bone which is included in this norma frontalis is your forehead part. So what are the features over this forehead part? If you see over here, there is a faint ridge, elevated ridge over here on either side, just above the orbit, and this is known as the superciliary arch. So it's a rounded, curved elevation situated just above the medial part of each orbit. Deep to this lies the frontal air sinuses. It is better marked in males than in female. Now the point at the junction of these two superciliary arch, this point, it is known as the glabella. So glabella is the median elevation, this median elevation connecting the two superciliary arch. And below the glabella, if you trace, there is nasal bone, and this is the frontonasal suture near the root of the nose. Now junction of this frontonasal suture as well as this internasal suture, so this T-shaped junction, the point over here is known as the nasion. Apart from this, what you are able to see in the other features in the frontal bone, see this elevation on either side, they are known as the frontal tuber or the frontal eminence. So this is regarding the frontal region. Now we'll see the orbital part. So this is the orbit. If you see, the orbit is quadrangular in shape and has got the four sides. The superior margin of the orbit, also known as the supraorbital margin, it is formed by the frontal bone. And if you see, at the junction of its lateral 2/3 and the medial 1/3, there is a notch or opening known as supraorbital foramen or supraorbital notch. In this bone, it is seen as a foramen, while in other bones, it may be seen as a notch. If you see this margin, this is the infraorbital margin, and it is formed by this zygomatic bone laterally as well as the maxilla medially. This is the medial margin of the orbit. It is quite unclear, but it is contributed by, this is your maxilla, and this is the frontal process of the maxilla, and this is your frontal bone, and this is the maxillary process of the frontal bone. So it is formed by this frontal process of the maxilla as well as this maxillary process of the frontal bone, and the prominent margin or prominent ridge over here, it is known as the lacrimal crest of this maxilla. So this is how it forms the medial margin. And if you trace the lateral margin over here, it is contributed by this frontal process of the zygomatic bone and the zygomatic process of this frontal bone. So upper 1/3 and the lower 2/3, it is upper 1/3 is contributed by the frontal bone, lower 2/3 it is contributed by the zygomatic bone, and there is a suture in between them. It is known as frontozygomatic suture. This opening, this pyriform shape or the pear shape opening, what you are able to see is the nasal aperture. So what are the boundaries? If you see the above, it is formed by this fusion of these two nasal bone. These two nasal bone, they are fused with each other through this internasal suture, and lower border of it forms the upper margin of this nasal aperture. Laterally, it is being contributed by this frontal process of the maxilla as well as this notch of the maxilla. It will contribute the remaining part, and in lower part both the maxilla, they unite with each other near the intermaxillary suture, and over here you can see the anterior nasal spine. So this is how the nasal aperture is there. This nasal bone, if you see, it is attached anteriorly to the internasal suture with the opposite nasal bone. Posteriorly it is attached with this frontal process of the maxilla over here. This is nasomaxillary suture. Superiorly, it is attached with this frontal bone to form what is known as the nasofrontal suture. While inferiorly, its margin is free and it is attached with the cartilage of the nose. Behind this frontal process, it is attached to this lacrimal bone through the lacrimomaxillary suture over here. This is the lacrimal bone over here. Here, this is your frontomaxillary suture. Lower part of the face, it is formed by this maxilla. So two maxillary bone, they will unite in the midline near the intermaxillary suture over here to form what is known as upper jaw part. And from here, this alveolar process of this maxilla, these are the tooth sockets which you are able to see. So this maxillary bone has got the alveolar process in the frontal area, as well as this is the frontal process, and then it has got this zygomatic process which is short over here to get attached with this zygomatic bone to form what is known as zygomatico-maxillary suture over here. Further, if you see, in relation to the infraorbital margin, there is an opening known as infraorbital foramen. So this is known as the infraorbital foramen, which opens inside this orbit. If you see, it opens inside this orbit. Laterally, if you see, this is the zygomatic bone, and this zygomatic bone has three processes. This process is it is a temporal process which attaches with this temporal bone. This one is the frontal process which attaches, which has got this fusion with this zygomatic process of the frontal bone over here, and then the third process, that is your maxillary process of the zygomatic bone. It's an irregular bone and it forms the prominence of the cheek, and if you see over here, there is an opening over here. One opening you can see in this zygomatic bone, another opening you can see over here. So it is known as the zygomaticofacial foramen. Apart from this, there is a mandible bone which is over there, which lies over here, and it forms the lower jaw part. So the sutures which we encounter in the norma frontalis are, first over here is your internasal suture between the two nasal bone on either side. Then you have got the frontonasal suture between the frontal bone and the nasal bone. Then you have got this one is your frontal process of the maxilla. So you have got the nasomaxillary suture over here. Then between the maxilla and the frontal bone over here, you have got the frontomaxillary suture. Behind this is the lacrimal bone. So Between the maxilla and the lacrimal bone, you have got the lacrimomaxillary suture over here. This is the lacrimomaxillary suture, what you are able to see over here. Over here you are able to see the zygomatico-frontal or frontozygomatic suture, and then over here you have got another suture that is between the maxilla and the zygomatic bone, that is zygomatico-maxillary suture, and between the two maxilla you have got this suture, what is known as intermaxillary suture. The point over here, this one is the glabella. Below this, near this junction of this suture, this one is the nasion. This point over the lower border, it is known as the rhinion, and this point is known as the, over here is known as the prostheon. So you got the glabella, nasion, rhinion, and then prostheon. Now we'll see the attachment part over this norma frontalis. So as we have seen, this is the superciliary arch. So the medial portion of this superciliary arch will give attachment to the muscle of the face, that is corrugator supercilii. Near the root of the nose, this nasal bone will give attachment to the muscle, that is procerus. So procerus will arise from over here. If you see over here, this one is your maxillary process of the frontal bone, and this is the frontal process of the maxilla. So from here arises the muscle, that is muscle of the eye, that is orbicularis oculi muscle arises from here. Between them, the area between them gives attachment to the medial palpebral ligament. The part of this frontal process of the maxilla will give origin to the muscle, that is levator labii superioris alecanesi. So muscle, that is levator labii superioris alecanesi, arises from the frontal process of the maxilla in front of the orbicularis oculi. Another muscle, that is levator labii superioris, arises from the maxilla between this infraorbital margin and this infraorbital foramen. Over here the muscle that arises is your levator labii superioris muscle. Lateral to it, from this zygomatic bone, the two muscles arises, that is zygomaticus minor and zygomaticus major. The minor arises medial to this foramen, that is zygomaticofacial foramen, and the zygomaticus major muscle arises lateral to this foramen. This front two bone, they are known as the incisive teeth, and above this depression lies is known as the incisive fossa. From the incisive fossa, the muscle arises is incisivus. Lateral to it, you have got this canine teeth, and this is the canine eminence. The fossa lateral to it is known as the canine fossa, and from the canine fossa, the muscle that arises is levator angularis oris. This border in relation of the maxilla in relation to this nasal notch will give origin to the muscle, that is nasalis, as well as depressor septi. While from this molar teeth, in relation to the molar teeth, this region will give origin to the muscle, that is buccinator. So buccinator arises from this region of the maxilla, while remaining part will arises from the mandible. Now the foramen, the structures passing through this foramen, so supraorbital notch or the foramen, it will transmit the nerve and the vessels of the same name, that is supraorbital nerve and supraorbital vessels. The infraorbital foramen will transmit the nerve and vessels of the same name, that is infraorbital nerves and vessels. The zygomaticofacial foramen will transmit the nerve of the same name, that is zygomaticofacial nerve, which is a branch of a maxillary nerve. In relation to this lower part of the nasal bone, internasal suture, the nerve that comes out is external nasal nerve. So this is in brief regarding the norma frontalis. The nasal bone is the commonest bone to get fracture over the face.